Hey V, line them up.
Welcome to the jungle. Fuck with my ock and I'm gon' put you bitches under. Knock back your block when I swing with that thunder. And make them stumble when we run up with that hunter. And make you bitches fumble. Welcome to the jungle. Fuck with my ock and I'm gon' put you bitches under. Knock back your block when I swing with that thunder. And make them stumble when we run up with that hunter. And make you bitches fumble, motherfucker. One West UPK, bitch ass nigga, get the fuck out the way. You ain't doing shit right, them bitches don't hate. And the real Jew, get the fuck out my face. Won't hesitate, the pool blades get cut like a buffet. These days, these niggas stay bitch made. Weak ass nigga with them damn bitch ways. One wet bitch to the fucking me grave. UPK, that's the lie. Cause the fucking line might lose your eye. Oh Lord, why? Why these niggas wanna lose their mind? Fucking with the damn 12 tribe. Blood of an Israelite, ain't no bitch in my bloodline. Who that coming down? Dropping nothing but them UPK sound for the take ground. War ready warfare, that's what I'm about. Fuck with the ock and we taking down blocks. UPK can't be stopped, cause we blessed by the almighty most high. UPK niggas don't lie, setting up songs worldwide. We don't fuck with the other side, fuck them other guys. UPK don't fuck with your kind, one West, that's the motherfucking lie, bitch. Welcome to the jungle. Fuck with my ock and I'm gon' put you bitches under. Knock back your block when I swing with that thunder. And make them stumble when we run up with that hunter. And make you bitches fumble. Welcome to the jungle. Fuck with my ock and I'm gon' put you bitches under. Knock back your block when I swing with that thunder. And make them stumble when we run up with that hunter. And make you bitches fumble, motherfucker.
John 8:32, read, come on, wait a minute. If God ain't against Islam, how the hell all of my refugees getting killed over there? They allow Akbar all day, and all I see is car bombs all over that damn place. You Negroes been running that Islam crap since the 60s, man. Islam, and all that other garbage, man. That's a damn lie. We ain't no damn Arabs, man. You don't even know your identity, man. You take anybody's religion. One minute you want to be a Chinese man and take on their religion. Next minute you want to put on a suit and be a Christian. Next minute you want to put on a kufi and now you a Muslim. You Negroes change your religion like you change the seasons, man. Like you change your draws, man. Damn all these religions.
Welcome to the jungle. Fuck with my ock and I'm gon' put you bitches under. Knock back your block when I swing with that thunder. And make them stumble when we run up with that hunter. And make you bitches fumble. Welcome to the jungle. Fuck with my ock and I'm gon' put you bitches under. Knock back your block when I swing with that thunder. And make them stumble when we run up with that hunter. And make you bitches fumble, motherfucker.
See, y'all think it's just about us in here, but this is about an oppressive, fucked up system designed to keep niggas down and shit. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. What about you, little nigga? You know about that?
Yes.
Oh, you know about that? Tell me what you know about that. Tell me what you think about that.
I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, Find me in the field, I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Belly of the beast, we been living in hell. They like, damn Kai, how could you tell? Put us in the project, set us up to fail. Round here, bullets be flying like hell. Too many of my niggas either dead or in jail. Make a nigga work when you locked in a cell. Can't find work when you out on bail, but your homie got the work, so we passed you a scale. Got them birds like the Bible got quail. Niggas selling out cause they mama got bills. Turning the coons like Oprah and Gail. How you sell your soul just to get a little kale? They put you in a dress when you get a record deal. Wanna see a nigga getting high on pills? You can dance on a pole, you can sell that tail, but they never tell a nigga that he can go to Yale. We all created equal, that's white males. All lives matter, not black males. Another mother crying, another coffin got a nail. How many brothers out here got killed? How many of our sisters out here gotta heal? How many more caps gotta get peeled? We beef with each other so quick to pull the steel. George Zimmerman still alive and well. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Light skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Light skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Feel. Light skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. Feel. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. Chill. Yo, chill!
The industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. I might start me a fucking riot. Slave rebellion, no compliance. They just want us to die in silence. They murder minds like they got a license. I pray for the coronavirus to kill all of these violent tyrants. They prey on us like they poaching lions. World War III's on the horizon. Black and Hispanics form alliance. From the west coast to the islands, this pressure is making diamonds. They've awakened sleeping giants. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Light skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Light skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Feel.
Nigga, did you just say what I was trying to say, but smarter? I like this little nigga.
Oh yeah, I see this. I see this. Well, actually, okay. Yep. It's a Most High Christ. All right, Shalom Israel. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Barakathon to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema Ladun Bashim Yahushua to all the sisters. This is ISUPK Indianapolis. Right, you know what it is, the UPK, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command Adriana, where we teach you so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth about the Bible and how to get back. So many people, man, so many Black people, Hispanics, and Native Americans are being led astray by false leadership, man. Right, the so-called leadership that we have in place, man, they not doing the job. They not fit for the job. They not built for the job. Right. But Commander Triana is. Damn right. Like your leaders will have you praying for Palestine. They're gonna have you marching with the Asians, praying for Palestine, and voting and pleading and begging America to make you equal. What kind of existence is that, man? What kind of existence is that where you just always on the defensive? You always on the defensive. It's like a basketball team, man. They can't never set up an offense. The ball keep getting taken from them. You know what I mean? They always get they shots blocked, or they run out of shot clock. They ain't got no preparation to score and take over. The only thing that they doing is back on their heels all the time. Backpedaling on defense, trying to stop the other team from scoring. That's the team that we play for. That's what your Black leadership has you doing. Your Black leadership ain't running offensive plays. Everything is defense. Everything is just enough to get by. Listen, it'll come to a point where, Lord willing, real soon, where you're gonna get tired of playing defense. You're gonna get tired of always being, never being a team that scored. Right? You get a couple scores every now and again, right? O.J. Simpson, that verdict, that was a score, right? Black people went crazy over that, you know what I'm saying? What else here recently? The Derek Chauvin trial. Like, black people felt like champions, boy. They felt like they was going to Disneyland off that. And that's not justice, man. That's like normal. That's we should expect that. That should always happen and more. You understand? But you're so used to losing and playing defense. When you get a little victory, it's like, you didn't hit a home run. Right. When really you ain't even got a swing. You ain't even swinging, you ain't even made it to the first plate. You know what I mean? Let alone a home run. You had your hand up, Quan?
Nah. You said the George Floyd verdict, right?
Yeah, Derek Chauvin. Yeah, he was guilty, right? But we look at that, and it's like we feel good that he was guilty, but really that's not justice. You understand? Just because one cop, right? One cop murdered a black man, and he was charged with a few years. That's not justice.
Right.
So I say all that to say, go ahead, Quan.
Like, I don't see how it's justice when you got after that verdict. Oh, so like after that verdict, we didn't got about 10 other brothers that died and daughters that died due to police brutality.
Right, that's absolutely right, man. What we seeing in America, right? What we seeing in America is the Most High forcing you back into the truth.
Right.
You're being forced. You got a new Bible out? Most High in Christ. Who got you that?
Isaiah.
Most High in Christ. That's what's up.
Can I get a pen out?
Yeah. Get one to
Cut.
if you need.
All
right. So the Most High is really, he's going to leave you no choice.
Right.
Right now you have a choice. It's like a fast food restaurant. You go to Wendy's, you go to White Castle, you go to Chick-fil-A, you go to Zaxby's. You know what I'm saying? You go all these different choices, McDonald's, all this stuff, Burger King. You got choices. That's what black people got. Black people, they can side with Democrats. They can side with Republicans. They can side with the Christian church. They can side with independent party. They can side with the Proud Boys. They can side with the KKK. Right now, you find black people in all walks, all manner of politics, religions, everything, right? But one thing that black people don't want to side with is their own.
Damn right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you see the division amongst the tribes internally. But pretty soon, everybody put your phone on silent. All that is going to come to naught. All that is going to be resolved real soon, because the hatred of this man and the evil that he's going to do against the 12 tribes is going to force you back into loving your own people and coming to serve the Lord. And those that don't will perish here in America. And that's the unfortunate, sad truth. Like, if you don't join together with your, matter of fact, give me that. Zephaniah 2:1. If you don't join together with your brothers, you're going to die in this land called America. You're going to be the one that's still marching. Why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans then start coming together, right, and building their own and staying away from the oppressor. You'll be the one that's still trying to hold together, like you just, the ultimate gorilla glue. You're not going to hold this nation together trying to love the oppressor. It ain't going to happen.
Right.
You got it? Go ahead.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1.
Use the mic.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Gather yourselves together.
Man, everybody in the UPK pulls the scripture because it's so bedrock. It's so bedrock. You can't stand against other nations by yourself. That's what kills me about these keyboard Israelites. They say, well, y'all camps do this and y'all camps do that. Right. Not that I give a damn about a camp, because ISUPK, we not a camp. We the Lord's army.
Right.
But they say y'all camps do this and y'all camps do that. But you at home by yourself on the keyboard, what are you doing? You're not doing nothing.
Right.
Not that I have, got any love for these camps, but at least they not a bunch of individuals. At least they wicked as hell, but at least they just not some keyboard gangster just, spouting off some scriptures that he think he know. Like that is the worst kind of person because he ain't doing nothing. You understand? Go ahead.
It's crazy how they bash us, when they glorifying Malcolm X and Martin Luther King for their, for their basically the destruction of black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. They honor them, but you got the nerve to talk bad about the lords, the priests and prophets of UPK.
You know what's unfortunate about that, which is true what you're saying. What's unfortunate is they don't see us as a solution. They see us as, like you say, a cult. Like the way we dress, the way we talk, even though if they sit there and listen, they know we ain't saying nothing but the truth. But they look at us like we are some kind of disease. And instead they celebrate Martin Luther King and they never for once take a look internally and say, you know what, my black businesses, they gone. I don't have businesses in my neighborhood.
Right.
That's why it's such a big deal when you see a black business because they're so few and far between. And they don't last long typically. So when they do last long and they are strong and they do got a good product, they're greatly celebrated, as they should be. But the people that led you to the Arabs or that led you to the Christian church, they did no service to us.
Right.
Nothing. They've done nothing for us. We've accomplished nothing since the civil rights movement. Nothing of significance. Nothing we didn't have before the civil rights movement. What's their whole thing? Black businesses. We had black businesses before the civil rights movement. We had cities before the civil rights movement.
Right.
We had a ton of things, a ton of what you would call advancements. Like, I don't know, of course, I'm not all over the U.S., and I never Googled it, but I don't know of any black hospitals here in the U.S., but we had those. We had grocery stores, all that. You find a black grocery store, it's like, well, damn, let me go in here and get all my groceries. But the things that we fight for now, we already had. We just wanted to have it alongside our oppressor. Right? That's the whole point. The whole point is you just wanted to be with your oppressor.
That's it.
Me and my brothers, we don't give a damn about being around them. Go ahead, finish the rest of that scripture.
Gather together, O nation not desired.
The scripture, like I said, the scripture is so bedrock, man. When you look at the people on the earth that's not desired. Commander Johanna did a story where he talked about the person, Dr. Fauci, who's like the leading expert and the impact on this COVID-19 pandemic that's hit America. He said racism definitely played a part, right? It definitely shed light on the racism found, right? So when COVID hit, you can see the racism amongst the treatment, our black, Hispanic, and Native people. And he called out those three groups. He called out those three groups specifically. He said blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And said you can see the impact of racism. Like when COVID hit, you can see the difference, how we were treated. The immunizations and how far they got into the hood, how quick they got into the hood as opposed to the suburbs. Like all these things are factors. And he said, you know what? Racism is alive and well. Essentially, he said racism is alive and well in America. And you see it in our medical system. There's no escaping these curses, man. You are the people that's not desired. Those people that he named, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, are the people that are not desired. And so what's the scripture say? The scripture say, gather together.
That's right.
There's safety. You ever heard the term, there's safety in numbers? Right? You walking through an alley and you see 10 oppressors and it's just you about to get your ass whipped. And that's it. But if you got 10 brothers, 9 other brothers with you, y'all straight. Y'all gonna get it on.
Yeah, right.
That's why you gotta gather together. What do the scriptures also say? Separate from this man. Separate from him. Does that mean you need to fly over to Dimona, Israel? No. You need to go somewhere in Africa? No. What you need to do is separate spiritually. What does that mean? That means you are a slave in this empire, so you got to work because you got to eat. I hear that's another sickening thing that I hear these fake Israelites say. Man, well, y'all take the oppressor's money. Well, yeah, you gotta eat, dumb. I mean, what, should I just die? Is that what you want me to do? Just die? Like, you're not really, you probably don't know a whole bunch of fake Israelites yet, but as you get deeper into the school, you're gonna be on Facebook and you're gonna see the most idiotic things that these dumbasses say. Well, y'all take the oppressor's money, y'all wear the oppressor's clothes. That's because we slave. We don't have textile industry. We don't print our own money. We're in captivity over here. But guess what we do? We make the money that we make, eat the food the lawful food. We go to our house and we cook out with our brothers. We don't cook out with oppressors.
Right.
After the slave, we don't go hang out with a bunch of oppressors if you don't have to. I know some of y'all, sometimes y'all got them mandatory, after hours, hangout spots with your company every now and then. But with a choice, in the UPK, brothers and sisters with a choice, we ain't going to go, hang out with these oppressors and be a part of their kingdom. We're not going to celebrate their holidays. We're not going to worship their gods. None of that, man. What we're going to do is separate and then read it again.
Come on. Gather, Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourself together. Yea, gather together. O nation not desired.
Most High in Christ. All right. You could drop that. Any questions online? All right, let's
Slack.
Good.
Somebody just asked for a cash app.
Cash app? The school's cash app or Indianapolis cash app? The school's cash app, the school doesn't have a cash app anymore. You need to go to Zelle and it's ISUPK Tides on Zelle. I'll see if I can find it real quick.
Tie or donation?
No, I got it. Hold on a second. All right, it's ties at isupk.com. Ties, TITHES at isupk.com. Ties at isupk.com. That's Zelle. So you can Zelle money. You can Zelle money to that address. What's going on?
I got a big Bible on. These glasses with these.
Here you go. I'll come around on the side over here. All right. Let's get on. Let's take me to Nehemiah. You said it was something online or not?
Oh, that's the same person that was in yesterday talking about the scripture rebuke is for IUIC and stuff like that.
Yeah, that cat is a troll, man. You could, if you can block them, block them. If not, just ignore them.
I mean, they all in our classes though.
Yeah, that's what I noticed, man. These cats is like if I don't disagree, like if I disagree with like a political party, I don't go to their convention and be like, hey, you guys suck. These cats, that's how you know these cats love us and they want to be down so bad, but they know they don't have the right spirit to be in here.
Right.
Because they be in our classes and they need too much. Either it's a devil or it's some Jake that's in the group chat that's too weak to come into these ranks. Right? If it's a devil, then who gives a damn? Right? It's just a Jake. Only thing we can do for you, brother, is pray that you one day get the strength to be a man, to be man enough to come in here. Because at this point, you cannot. You understand? So just ignore that cat. Most High in Christ. All right, let's get Nehemiah. Let's start at 4. Nehemiah 4:1. So just to recap. So we read about last Wednesday. We read Nehemiah and how he he prayed to the Lord, man, and said, I've sinned, my father's house has sinned, all the people, the Israelites, we have sinned, we in captivity, right? And I pray for your mercy. And he went to the king of the Persians, right? The Persian Median Empire, Artaxerxes, and he said, you know what? The king asked him what was wrong. Of course, these heathen kings that took Israel into captivity, like they were given that authority and that power by the Most High, so they can be brought down. Right? It was given that power and authority to punish us for our sin, and then they were, they were put in place, or at least held in place by the Most High. Right? Just like, Egypt and Pharaoh. Pharaoh, he said, for this reason, I shall, bring him up. So I'm paraphrasing that wrong. Basically, Egypt was raised up so the Most High can bring him down. Same thing he doing with America. You look at America, right? Esau in particular, the Edomites, they are put in place to punish us. Right? They are put in place. Matter of fact, hold that before we get there. Let me get Baruch in Apocrypha 4 verse 6.
Sure.
Baruch 4 and 6. Get that real quick.
Sure.
Like, because we sinned, we went into captivity because we don't want to serve the Lord. But this nation of people have destroyed us, man. Like we have, like the scriptures say, they have, our time of iniquity was at an end. Our time of iniquity is over. Go ahead.
I just want the young man to know that it's not in that, but also another book.
Yeah, Baruch 4 and 6. You got it?
Go
ahead.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations.
We were sold to the nations. Why were we sold to the nations? Why were we sold to the nations? Go ahead.
To be slaves.
Yes, but why?
To store a culture and everything.
No, why would the Most High make us slaves or allow us to be slaves to these other nations?
Oh, because you wasn't following what the Most High.
That's it right there. We wasn't doing what the Most High said. He said, you are to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments forever throughout your generations. That don't mean, when you don't feel like it, you can stop. Even when you don't like what the Most High said to do, you still have to do it because that's the covenant that we made with him. Now, here's the thing. We want the Most High to be our God because you see what happens when he's not with us. When the Most High is not with us, all these nations oppress and destroy us and eat us. That's why the other nations are called the beasts of the field.
Right.
When you see that in the Bible, the beast of the field is referring to the other nations. The other nations are referred to as beasts, and we are referred to as what? What are the Israelites referred to in the Bible?
Negroes.
Okay, that's what we are. But like if you go ahead. You might have heard it before. Yahushua say it all the time. He would say that I'm the shepherd and Israel are what?
It's a specific word.
I'll give you a hint. It's something that's lost. You ever heard lost sheep?
Right.
You ever heard that?
Yeah, lost sheep. I heard that.
You heard that before?
The devil says I heard the devil in the movie. It said something like, "Yeah, number of lost sheep."
Well, that's also all throughout the Bible. So the analogy is, right? The analogy is, we are lost sheep, and Yahushua is our shepherd, or also your leadership, right? Black leaders, they're supposed to be shepherds of the people, but right now there's only one black leader, and that's Commander King Hana. He is the shepherd for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They just don't know it yet. But pretty soon they're gonna understand. Like I said, it ain't gonna be nowhere else to go. Right? Go ahead.
Add on to that, I don't want to. When them bombs started dropping and bombs in America started dropping.
Even before that.
Right.
Even before that. Like, we know the prophecies of the Third World War. We know that America is going to be burnt down to the ground. But even before the bombs start dropping, black people, Hispanics, Native Americans, they're going to lose their faith. At least some of them, not all of them. Some of them going to try to cling on to the very end. You ever seen Django? Yeah, they gonna be like him.
Samuel
Jackson. What's his name?
Samuel Jackson.
No, what's his name in there though?
I don't know.
I can't think of his name. He held on to the very end, boy. He's like, Calvin. He hugged him. He didn't want him to die. Man, that's how some black people are going to be. They're not going to want to see this empire fall. How do I know? Because we read about it in the Bible, how there were Israelites after. Now imagine the Lord taking you out of Egypt, right? He didn't hit the Egyptians with all the plagues. Then he's going to part the Red Sea for you, right? What's up? Check the door, make sure it's locked. Yeah, you send a young man.
I'm small.
Send him anyway. All you got to do is check the door. Yeah, so we didn't took the Egyptians, or the Most High didn't had the Egyptians, right, and all the plagues and everything. And so now it was some Israelites that wanted to go back to Egypt. Can you imagine that? You've seen all the miracles that the Most High worked, and then you got Israelites that say, you know what, man, we'd be better off in Egypt. What, did the Most High bring us out here so he could starve us? Right? That's the mentality of Israelites. Some Israelites, they just, they can't see themselves operating without the oppressor. It was the same way in Egypt. All right. Where we at? What scripture you holding? Baruch 4 and 6?
Baruch 4 and 6, Baruch chapter 4, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Ye were sold to the nations.
We were sold to the nations. Go ahead.
Not for your destruction.
But we were not supposed to be destroyed. We were supposed to be punished, but we're not destroyed like think about the genocide that happens to the tune of 300,000 abortions a year. That's genocide.
Right.
You kill 300,000 Israelite babies a year. That's genocide. Think about all the black men that are incarcerated. America has more incarceration than any other place on the planet. Think about the poverty that we live in. Think about not having an identity. You can read in the Bible where, Israelites, we knew we were Israelites.
Right.
But here, nobody knows, damn near nobody knows that they're Israelite. So we were sold to these nations, but it wasn't for our destruction. It was for us to be punished. Keep going.
But because ye moved God to wrath.
Right? We moved the Most High to wrath. What is wrath? Anger. We moved him. We made the Most High angry with our disobedience. As any father, you tell your kids over and over and over again to do something and they never do it, guess what happens? Your father gets wroth with you, meaning he's angry. He's gonna dole out some punishment. Go ahead.
Ye were delivered unto the enemies.
That's what happened to us. We were delivered unto our enemies. Any more?
Wow.
All right, Most High Christ. All right, drop that. Take me back to Nehemiah 4:1. Right. So, like I was recapping, Nehemiah, he went to the king. The king asked him, why was his heart so sorrowful? Like, what's up?
So, if you could, can I do the next verse after that? Verse 7?
Go ahead.
Come. For ye provoke him that made you by sacrificing unto devils.
Man, that's self-explanatory right there. You made the Most High, the one that created you. Who created you? The Most High created you. What did you do? You sacrificed onto other gods. You sacrificed onto Baal. You sacrificed onto Nimrod for Christmas. You sacrificed onto the New Year with Janus. You sacrificed unto all these things that is not your culture. You did that. You served other gods. And the one who made you was sitting there like, well, what in the hell is they doing? I'm the one true God. So then he done giving you chances after that. Then you gotta be punished. Then, like the previous scripture said, you gotta be sold to the nations. Go ahead.
And not to God.
You sacrifice to them other gods, but not to the one true God, the God of Israel. There is no other God. That's what that's what kills these oppressors when we say, man, the God of Israel is the only God, and he's only our God, meaning this, he only made a covenant to us. or with us. We are the only nation that he made a covenant to. He didn't make a covenant with Esau, or with Ishmael, or with Elam, or with Ammon, or with Japheth, or with Moab. None of these other nations on the face of the earth he made a covenant with. He only made a covenant with the Israelites. So they don't know him. Let me get John 4:22. Then we're gonna get into finish with Nehemiah.
Go.
Was that it? Was there any more on that?
That was the other one.
John 4:22 real quick. And then we gotta get to Nehemiah.
John chapter 4, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Ye worship, ye know not what.
Right. So these are what the other nations say. They say for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. And whosoever should believe in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. They quote that John 3:16, and they don't miss a beat. But this is what they don't understand. Read John 4:22 again.
Oh, wow. John chapter 4, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Ye worship, ye know not what.
You don't know what you worship, heathens. These heathens don't know what they worship. Go ahead.
We know what we worship.
The Israelites, we know what we worship. We know who the power is. We know what his name is. We know that he's a great and terrible power. Terrible. That's what the Bible, all over the Bible, you find. That's why it kills me too when they say God is all love. The Bible says he is a great and terrible power, meaning he will destroy your life if you don't obey, as is his right as a father. Keep going.
Come. For salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Now, I was breaking this down to somebody before. You read Jews in the Bible, right? You read Jews in the Bible, there's context. There's always context in the Bible. Sometimes Jew is referring to what? Former part?
Judah.
The tribe of Judah specifically. What else could it refer to?
To the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right. So it could be referring to everybody. What else?
Jerusalem. No. Will be Jerusalem?
You on it. The southern kingdom. It could be referring to the southern kingdom, which was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Right. So those are the contexts that it can be used in. In this context, how is it being used?
So if I could, it's talking about, because it said salvation is of the Jews, it's talking about all of it.
All of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right. So that's one of the things that these oppressors don't know. When we go out downtown or wherever we go and we prophesy on the streets, and they say, yeah, God is the God of everybody. Mm-hmm. This is a perfect precept to pull. Hey, listen, you don't know what you worship. You understand? We know what we worship. Salvation is of the Jews.
That's right.
Not of you heathens. All right, so back to Nehemiah. Nehemiah, go ahead. You got a question?
That's a cut for your Christian pastor.
Yeah, listen, I just said it. It's damn sure.
Right. Nehemiah.
Yeah, so Nehemiah was authorized by King Artaxerxes to go and rebuild the wall of Jerusalem, right? The wall of Jerusalem was basically, Jerusalem went into captivity again, right? You had the Babylonian captivity, the Assyrian captivity. Now we're in the Persian Mede captivity, right? And Artaxerxes is the king. And of course, you see that. Of course, that movie 300. We fought on the side of the Persians, right? And so this Persian Mede Empire had essentially ruled the whole known world. Right. So who destroyed the Persian Mede Empire?
It's like you said who
destroyed the Persian Mede Empire?
Don't say we did,
No, we were slaves. I just said we were slaves in the Persian Mede. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna assume the oppressor.
You own it, but which oppressor? Go ahead.
Oh, it's like.
Yeah, so you heard of Alexander the Great?
Oh,
Do you know that history?
Come.
Yeah, so go and do that history and see that he was next up. Those, you know, his father Philip, started, you know, basically grew in power and might, right? And the Greeks started to gain power, and then when Alexander took over, you know what I'm saying, they started conquering everything. And of course, the power transitioned from the Greeks to the Romans, and that's who was on the scene when Christ was killed. The Romans. The Romans are the one who pierced his side, right? And of course, the whole, you know, like General Hyman break down all the time, this society basically runs off, you know, the customs of the Roman Empire and in previous empires as well, but they get a lot of their customs, a lot of their procedures and processes from the Roman Empire. But anyway, back to the Persian Mede. So Nehemiah got permission from the king, and he was authorized to go and build Jerusalem back up because Jerusalem had been torn down because we went into captivity. The walls were torn down. You know, everything was, you know, busted up, and so he got permission from the king and timber from the king to go and rebuild everything. And that's kind of where we're picking up at. So let's get verse 4. We can start at 1. We're gonna do some jumping around because we're not gonna read everything in Nehemiah, but just to give you the whole spirit behind some of these Old Testament prophets, man, these brothers was hardcore. Go ahead, Corn. Start at 4 and 1.
Oh, God. Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 1. But it came to pass that when Sanballat heard that we builded the wall, he was wroth.
He was angry.
And took great indignation, and mocked the Jews.
These heathens was mad. This was a heathen. Like, so imagine Black Wall Street, right? Black Wall Street, a suburb of Tulsa, was a, you know, great city where we had businesses and had our own economics, right? Imagine, you know, you know, a black leader went to the governor or the mayor or, you know, the president, was like, you know, I like resources to go and rebuild the city, right? And do you think if you went and tried to rebuild that city that the oppressors would be happy about it? They wouldn't. They would mock you. They said, we destroyed that thing a long time ago. Ain't no sense of you rebuilding it. Right. You better be careful. It's going to be destroyed again, boy. You imagine the mockery that you would hear. You know what I mean? Because that's what kind of people the oppressors are. They don't have any remorse. They don't care about your past pain. The only thing that they care about is that you were put in your place. Right? So this heathen, he mocked Israel. Keep going.
Verse 2. And he spake before his brethren and the army of Samaria, and said, what do these feeble Jews?
You gotta read that correctly.
What do these?
No. What do these feeble Jews? What are they doing? What do these feeble Jews think they're doing? Basically, is what he's saying. He called us feeble. Go ahead.
Will they fortify themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Will they sacrifice?
Right.
Will they make an end in a day?
Right.
Will they revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish which are burned?
Right. So they saying, look, what are they going to do, man? Look at this wall. The wall is burned down. Are they going to revive the heap of stones? What are they going to do with all this? Like this heathen doubted what Israel could do, right? And so when Nehemiah got the spirit on him to, you know, to rebuild the temple, like they mocked them. They mocked all the Jews and talked down to us. Look, they called us feeble when they know ain't no black, Hispanic man, Native American man feeble, you know, against these other nations. Like we are the strongest people on this earth, period. Keep going.
Verse 3. Now Tobiah the Ammonite.
What's an Ammonite? Mm-hmm.
I want to say Chinese.
No.
Or Japanese.
You guessing? You tell me. I asked you.
Like, I know I want to say one of either Japanese or Chinese or something, one of those.
Do you not know?
Live one.
Moab is Chinese.
California.
Ammon is Japanese.
California. I know one of them Chinese. Live.
Go ahead.
California. Was by him. And he said, even that which they build, if a fox go up, he shall even break down the stone wall.
Yo, he clowning us, man. He said, man, a fox could go up there and bring that wall down. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 4. Hear, O Lord God, for we are despised.
We are hated, man. These other nations despise us. They hate us. Go ahead.
And turn their reproach upon their own head. And give them for a prey in the land of captivity.
And he prayed, man. He prayed. Keep going.
Verse 5. And cover not their iniquities, and let not their sin be blotted out.
Again, he's praying, man. No, please don't let their sin be blotted out. Please recognize the sin and the hatred and all the pain that they're causing us. Go ahead.
From before thee. For they have provoked thee to anger before the builders. Verse 6. So build we the wall, and all the wall was joined together unto the half thereof. For the people had a mind to work.
Right. So they building the wall. If I understand that correctly, they had about half of it finished so far. Verse 7.
But it came to pass that when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabians,
all you that love the Arabs so much, the Arabians, they mocked us. Go ahead.
And the Ammonites,
the Japanese, they mocked us.
And the Adadites,
Ashdodites.
It's like, what? I don't know that one.
Ashdod.
But who are they supposed to be?
I forget. Ashdod. I can't remember exactly. I don't want to speculate. But see, matter of fact, let's just take a quick break and see if we can look it up in the Bible dictionary. Ashdod. Because I don't want to speculate. I got an idea what it might be, but I could be wrong. You got it? I got it. Ashdod. All right. I'm gonna keep going. Heard that the walls of Jerusalem were made up and that the breaches began to be stopped. You know what a breach is?
Breach, like, I heard of the word, you know, like you say in a movie, like, oh, they breached the wall, or they
Yep. Yeah, what does that mean when you breach a wall?
They made it through? Or?
They made it through. Like a breach could be like a hole, like you go through it, you go over it, you breached it, right? So when it's saying the breaches began to be stopped, meaning the gaps, right? The gaps began to be filled, like nobody could break through the wall, come through the wall anymore. All right. It says, then they were very wroth and conspired all of them to come together and fight against Jerusalem and to hinder it. Like they suck. That's the spirit too. That's the spirit. When Israelites come together and do things, these nations like to come together and hinder us. Right? That's the spirit of America. That's the spirit of these heathens. Damn sure the spirit of your oppressor. When you want to come together and do something great, they want to hinder you. Right? And then you know, they also want to take away the smartest people amongst us, the best of the best. Like you'll see that throughout the scriptures too. When we went into captivity, they would take on, you know, the ones of us that were educated and bright and smart, you know, and give them places in their society. Why do you think they did that?
They're trying to brainwash us, trying to destroy us, and make sure so we never learn about our history again, or whatever, you know.
Yes, but why take the best of us, like the cream? Why take the people who are the smartest?
Because he's most, he's the most powerful, most mighty, you know, like,
Take your time. Just think logically, right? So you got a people in captivity, right? You got okay. You got you got a group of people who play basketball. It's a people out there. Like, why would you want to take the best players from out that group?
because,
I mean, it's not complicated. It's not a trick question.
No, I'm just gonna say, because he's gonna, I guess, cause he's gonna dominate, destroy, and it's like.
He's gonna dominate, he's gonna destroy, and that other team is gonna be weak. That other team is gonna be so weak because they don't have any of the best players. All they smart people, or I'm using the basketball analogy, everybody who could jump high, everybody who could shoot a jump shot, everybody who could block a shot, everybody who could steal the ball, they all playing for the oppressor's team now, for your enemy's team. So all that stuff that you would have in your nation is not really going to be in your nation because they're going to join together and now they feel like they're part of that team. Same thing here in America. Like your Oprah Winfrey, your Jay-Z's, all your black billionaires, your Hispanic billionaires, everybody who have made it big in this country, they slowly become disconnected from black people. Like if you was to meet Oprah Winfrey, she wouldn't even understand your life. She owns islands. You understand? She owns islands. You gonna be talking to her about something like, well, yeah, I gotta go into work. I gotta pay these bills. I had to, my car got repossessed, and my auntie, she gotta have surgery. Like all these things to her, she can't even conceive them anymore. She got so much money, she's disconnected from her people, and that's why these nations, right? They don't want you to come together and build, because then you're gonna be competition. You're gonna be competition. Esau knows that you are competition. That's why he has to give. That's why you get people that are Black, Hispanic, and Native American that actually make it to the top. They make it and they become part of this society, and they become very wealthy and very successful. And then guess what happens? Like I said, they become disconnected from the society. And so now they play for America's team. They don't play for, since last time that you seen the super rich of us advocate for us. They don't. They don't advocate for us, right? Like they too disconnected. They don't understand it. So that same way that they said, and it says, verse 8, and conspired all of them together to come and fight against Jerusalem and to hinder it. And that's the main goal, man, to hinder us, to destroy us because they hate us. You found the poem?
Somebody,
Ask God.
can I comment? Also, this, it's like you could, when you talking about,
use the mic.
When you was talking about, why would they take the strong man? And I just want to say, Matthew 12 and 29 talks about no man can enter into a strong man's household and spoil his goods. So that's what they're doing. They're going to get rid of the strong man. You know what I'm saying? And then locking up all the strong men and leaving the household widowed. So
that's slightly, you own it, but that's slightly different. It's slightly different in the sense that we've already been taken. Like this is an example where these heathen kings, they took the best of our people, so we were already destroyed. You get what I'm saying? They took the best of our people, so now we wouldn't have any strength. Like the smart, the educated of us, basically the people that could really impact us coming up out of hell. They was, like I said, imagine what Oprah could do for the Black community if she used those resources. She could probably become richer, actually. Oprah could probably become richer if she focused her businesses on building up Black businesses. Why do I say that? Because we did it before. When we were segregated, we were rich.
Right.
We were rich. Not all of us was rich, but we had neighborhoods and towns where Black people prospered amongst each other.
Right.
Go ahead, give me that ass shot if you found it.
Okay.
Go ahead. Use the mic.
Ask God. one of the 5 chief cities of the Philistines.
Okay, so they was Africans. All right. So take me back to the scripture. We on verse 9.
Go.
Oh, so the Hashemites or they was Africans, huh?
Yeah, so the Philistines were Africans. Those was Hamites.
Okay.
Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 9. Nevertheless, we made our prayer unto our God and set a watch against them day and night because of them.
Right, so they had guards. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And Judah said, the strength of the bearers of burden is decayed, and there is much rubbish, so that we are not able to build the wall.
Go ahead.
Verse 11.
You could pick it up a little faster too.
And our adversaries said, they shall not know, neither see, till we come in the midst among them, and slay them, and cause the work to cease.
Right, so these heathens said, you know what, we're going to wait till the middle of the night where everybody sleep, and we're going to slay them. Keep going.
Verse 12. And it came to pass that when the Jews which dwelt by them came, they said unto us 10 times, from all places whence ye shall return unto us, they will be upon you.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13. Therefore set I in the lower place behind the wall, and on the higher place I even set the people after their families.
Listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying in this scripture. This brother right here, he was an excellent leader of black people. Because what did he do? Pick it up from where you left off.
Therefore set I in the lower places behind the wall, and on the higher places I even set the people after their families with the sword, their spears and their bows.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 14. And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible.
The Lord, which is what?
Great and terrible.
He's a great and terrible power. Go ahead.
And fight for your brethren,
mm-hmm.
your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses.
This brother said, you know what, we're going to build a wall, but now I got a strategy, right? There's so many times that you see the black leadership here in America, all they focus on is economics. They focus on economics like money is the solve all, cure all, be all for black people when it is not. Black people don't have a problem with economics. Black people have a problem with leadership. We have plenty of money in the black community, but we don't have good leadership. We don't have any real leaders. That's why Commander Gianna is so important and precious to this nation, because he is the one true leader for us, because he knows, this is something that he would say. You know what? We've been killed in the streets. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to set up guards. We're going to set up guards in our neighborhoods. So when these police officers come rolling through, right, trying to harass people, they're going to think twice about how they treat us. Right? You have power when you come together, but if everybody's thinking that, you know, we should be loving everybody and honoring the police like they're so great, then you're not going to have anybody to stand against the police. That's what Christians do. Christians say, you know what, we got a crime problem. We need to get more police. It's the stupidest solution you could ever have to solve a crime, more police. Because guess what? Police, they don't stop crime from happening. Only thing they do is create more crime. Police create more crime. Go ahead.
That's what make the business keep going on.
You're exactly right. That's why they gotta hire more and more police. The police keep it going. You ever seen police pull somebody over and just escalate the situation? You see it many times with black people. But with these Edomites have cussed them out and be like, oh, sorry man, you're free to go.
God.
You understand? Keep going, Paul.
God. Verse 15. And it came to pass when our enemies heard that it was known unto us, and God.
What's up? Don't sweat. Just read out loud.
God. And it came to pass when our enemies heard that it was known unto us, and God had brought their counsel to naught, that we returned all of us to the wall, everyone unto his work. Verse 16. And it came to pass from the time forth that the half of my servant wrought in the work, and the other half of them held both these spears.
Right, so during the time of building this wall, this brother said, you know what? They want to attack us. We're going to have half the brothers working on the wall. We're going to have the other half of the brothers on Shamar with swords and spears and harbor guns, whatever the hell that is. We have to look that one up. Matter of fact, I'm going to look that one up right now because I don't know what the hell that is. Yikes. That is a light sleeveless coat of mail. So it's basically mail chain armor. All right, go ahead. Matter of fact, let's drop down to verse 20.
Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 20. And what place therefore ye heard the sound of the trumpet, resort ye thither unto us.
Right, so you hear the trumpet. Where do you hear the trumpet coming from? Run over to us.
Our God shall fight for us.
Right, keep going.
Verse 21. So we labor in the work, and half of them held the spears from the rising of the morning till the stars appeared.
All right, you can drop that. Let's go to verse 5, Arsalaka, chapter 5.
Go. Nehemiah chapter 5, verse 1. And there was a great cry of the people and of their wives against their brethren, the Jews. Verse 2. For there were
now peep this. Peep what we're about to read. We in a time of calamity. Like we basically trying to survive. Jerusalem, the walls of Jerusalem are down and burned up. They're in rubble. The heathens are round about us, seeking to destroy us. And look at the wickedness of the Christian church. Right? We about to read this. Look at the wickedness. This is so the Christian church right here. Read it again from the top.
And there was a great cry of the people and of their wives against their brethren, the Jews.
Right, so the people were crying amongst each other. Go ahead.
Verse 2. For their word that said, we, our sons and our daughters, are many. Therefore, we take up corn for them, that we may eat and live.
Right, so they take up corn for them. They gather corn for them so they can live. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our land.
Right, meaning they have sold their lands. Let's see who we sold them to. Go ahead.
Vineyards.
Vineyards.
Mm-hmm. And houses, that we might buy corn.
Right, so they've sold their belongings so they can have some food. Right, it makes sense. Go ahead.
Because of the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. There were also that said, we have borrowed money for the king tribute.
Right, so they had to pay tribute to the king of Persia, who we were in slavery or captivity. Yeah, right? So they had to borrow money just to pay tribute, meaning they were poor. Go ahead.
And that upon our land and vineyards.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our children as their children. And lo, we bring into bondage our sons and our daughters to be servants. And some of our daughters are brought unto bondage already.
Mm-hmm.
Neither is it in our power to redeem them.
Right, so they're saying, we're so poor, we're so in debt that we had to put some of our sons and daughters into bondage as servants. Right, so you know that in Israel, right, part of the law, if you owe a great debt, then you and possibly even your family would have to go into service to repay that debt. Right, that's a hell of a lot of debt, but there's laws around that. Like you can't just, because somebody's in debt, you can't just beat them every day and treat them like trash. There's laws pertaining to how Israel deal with one another, even when someone's a servant to you.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'm thinking about Jacob. Don't sometimes some of the servants be wealthy though?
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't. If you're wealthy, I don't know why you would be a servant. You have to show me that.
Oh, no, I was actually okay.
I mean, if you a servant, I would assume you don't have any wealth. That's why you're a servant.
Right. I think it was something with the Lord, like maybe like I just like how do you be treated good? I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, there's laws around how you treat servants.
Right.
But you can't. You're not rich.
Right.
You wouldn't be a servant. Go ahead.
I heard the word a lot. I just want to ask, what's a servant?
A servant is like you on your job.
Oh.
Like you are basically a servant. Now it's a variation in what it is in America. Like servants during biblical times. Like say you were a servant to somebody.
Oh, like.
Hold on. Hold your point. Say you was a servant to somebody. You could potentially have quarters with them where you live, and you might have a place in their home where you lived with them, and you would work and you would get paid a wage, and that wage would go towards your debt. You understand? So that's what a servant is. Now in America, you are a servant to these jobs. Like you'll basically go and you earn a wage, but of course they can let you go out of their service at any time. They say we no longer need your services, right? Which is those words, a servant provides a service. You know what I mean? So that's really all a servant is a worker. In America, if you're a worker, you get paid the most menial amounts of cash. Go ahead.
Just like they would say, like slaving, what is it? Like it's two different things?
I mean, a slave, it depends. Like a slave in America is definitely different. A slave, the history of slavery in America came along with you being raped and beat and killed and worked till you dropped, and your kids also being slaves. Being a servant in the Bible is different from being a slave here in America, because America has no laws regarding how you treat servants, right? But in the Bible, as an Israelite, we do have laws pertaining to that. You can't just beat your brother. And of course, these heathens will be different. That's another breakdown.
Right.
Go ahead, Paul.
Verse 6. And I was very angry when I heard their cry and their words.
Man, Nehemiah heard this and he was like, man, we in slavery. And you trying to tell me that some brothers and sisters then gave up their kids to you other Israelites just so you can become richer? Nehemiah heard this, man, and he was fire hot mad. Keep going.
Verse 7. Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles.
He rebuked the nobles. Nobles are people of high esteem. Right? Go ahead.
And the rulers. And said unto them, ye exact usury.
Who knows what usury is? Go ahead.
Like when you use somebody, take advantage of somebody.
No. that's not the definition of usury, but it plays a part in it.
No. What is the definition?
I know it. Usury is interest,
No.
right? So in Israelite law, you can charge a heathen usury, meaning, say a devil come to you, you know a devil for whatever reason. I mean, you're in the UPK, you probably won't. But in the world, if a devil came to you and he said, hey, I'm really jammed up, I'm trying to get this mess. I'm just kidding. devil came and he wanted to do business with you. And you gave him a loan for, $10,000. And you said, you know what? I'm gonna lend you this $10,000. The usury is going to be 25%. So you're gonna have to pay me back that $10,000. And in addition to that, 25% of the $10,000, which would be $2,500. You gotta pay me back $12,500. That's usury or interest. Nehemiah saw that, in Israelite law, you cannot charge your brother usury. If you come to me and say you need to hold $100, I say, no sweat, I'll pay it back when you can, right? I can't then when you come back and give it to me, like, well, actually you owe me, $100 plus 15% interest. I can't do that because that's interest. You cannot charge another brother interest. Another Israelite, you cannot. That's part of the law. Go ahead.
I think that's what the drug dealers do, right?
Drug dealers do that and so much more. The drug dealers, if you don't have your money, he's not gonna tell you, hey, you need to come over my house and work off this debt. He's gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible, a brother, I'll take a little bit. In the Bible, a brother would have to at least offer you had to go into his service, right? So you could pay off your debt. A drug dealer ain't letting you go. I don't know. You might get a drug dealer look. You're gonna stay on this corner and hustle off. I just don't see it happening.
I seen a movie.
Go ahead.
I saw a movie though. I just saw a movie of it. They were talking about like he thought he was just gonna do drugs. Then after that, get his money and go.
Yeah.
He pay interest and everything to it. He gotta pay a whole lot of money and all that kind of stuff.
Hey, listen, the drug dealer ain't gonna be like, yeah, come to my house and wash these dishes and pay off, the cost of the rocks. They're like, I'm gonna leave you right here, and I'm gonna go home and say you're gonna be full of bullets. So anyway, that's usury. Nehemiah saw that these brothers, these rich, now granted, the rich and the noble, what are they supposed to do? Their job is to take care of the poor. That's the whole purpose of you being rich, is so you can take care of the poor. But instead, the rich and the nobles, they were charging their brothers usury, which was against the law. That's how you know this is a cut to these fake Israelites. Kwame, you probably want to write this precept down. This is a cut to the fake Israelites. Because if you're not supposed to keep the laws in captivity, then why was Nehemiah mad because these brothers were charging these other Israelites usury while they were under the captivity of the Persian Empire? The Persian Empire, this captivity was happening right now. He saw that brothers was selling all that they had. They sold their homes, their properties, their vineyards. They even put their children in service just so they can buy corn, just so they can afford to pay tribute to the king so they wouldn't be executed, right? All for their brothers to get rich off of. Nehemiah heard this, man, and he lost it. Keep going, Quan.
Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles and the rulers, and said unto them, the exact usury. Every one of his brethren.
Right.
And I set a great assembly against them. Verse 8. And I said unto them, we, after our ability, have redeemed our brethren, the Jews, which were sold unto the heathen.
Right, so these brothers, he said, these brothers were sold unto the heathens. Go ahead.
And and will ye even sell your brethren? Or shall they be sold unto us? Then and found nothing to answer.
He cut him. He was like, man, our brothers went into captivity. Now we got a chance to redeem them. Would you also sell them? Would you sell your own brothers? Once he asked them that, he said, man, they found nothing to answer. They was cut. They knew that they was greedy bastards. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Also I said, it is not good that ye do. Ought ye not to walk in the fear of our God because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies? Verse 10. I likewise and my brethren and my servants might exact of them money and corn. I pray you leave us, you let us leave us this usury. Verse 11. Restore, I pray you, to them, even this day, their lands, their vineyards, and olive yards, and their houses, also the 100th part of the money.
So listen what he said. Read it again.
Restore, I pray you.
Start from the top.
Restore, I pray you to them, even this day.
So he's saying restore to them today. Go ahead.
I pray you to them, even this day, their lands, their vineyards, their olive gardens, and their houses, also the 100th part of the money.
And what?
100th part of the money.
All of their money. Go ahead.
And of the corn, the wine, and the oil, and ye exact of them.
That ye exact of them, that you took from them. Like they're being told to restore everything that they took from these brothers and sisters, which is exactly what the Christian church should be doing right now. The Christian church right now will take all that you have while you're in captivity, and you will benefit nothing from those tithes that you pay. Those tithes, where is those? Give me an example of where those tithes going that you pay to the Christian church.
It's going to them. They buying cars and everything.
They buying what?
They buying
Cadillacs.
Fucking, like Mercedes. Like nice, fancy, nice cars. Like, all
what
of
else?
them. And mansions and like
mansions,
nice homes. Just
homes, all that. Everything you just said was true. They buying, not only that, they buying sex with little boys overseas. They buying prostitutes. They buying cars, shoes, their heart's desire.
They're basically stealing.
They are stealing. And that's what Nehemiah saw was happening to the now imagine the rich and the noble, they're supposed to be, people that take care of the poor. They're supposed to be honorable. But you can see, just like the Christian church, Negroes can be wicked, man. And Nehemiah saw this and he said, you're going to give them back everything. Keep going, Paul.
Verse 12. Then said they, we will restore them, and will require nothing of them. So will we do as thou sayest. Then I called the priests, and took an oath of them, that they should do according to this promise.
Right, he made an oath. He had them make an oath. You're going to do according to this promise. You make that pledge, that commitment, that covenant. Go ahead.
Verse 13. Also I shook my lap, and said, so God shake out every man from his house, and from his labor, that performeth not this promise.
Right, so he said, you know what? The Most High is going to come for the one who made this promise, but didn't do it. Go ahead.
Even thus be he shaken out and empty.
Meaning he's going to be left with nothing. Go ahead.
And all the congregation said, amen.
They all agreed. That's what amen means. So be it. Go ahead.
And praise the Lord. And the people did according to this promise.
Right.
Verse 14. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year, even unto the 2 and 13th year.
All right, let's drop that. Let's go to verse 6. See if we can cover a little bit more, or not verse 6, chapter 6.
Nehemiah, verse 6. Chapter 6, verse 1. Now it came to pass when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem and Arabian, or Shalakia, the Arabian and the rest of our enemies heard that I had built the wall, and that there was no breach left therein.
There was no gaps in the wall. There were no breaches. There was no way the wall was brought back whole again. Go ahead.
Though at that time I had not set up the doors upon the gates. Verse 2. That Sanballat and the Geshem sent unto me, saying, Come, let us meet together in some one of the village in the plain of Odom.
So here go these heathens, man. The heathens are always plotting to destroy us. That's why the scriptures say they hunt our steps. Go ahead.
But they go to do me mischief.
Right? Mischief. Right?
Mischief.
Which is evil. Or harm.
Verse 3. And I sent messengers unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease, which I leave it, and come down to you?
Right, so Nehemiah was like, man, I'm not coming down there. I'm working on something great for the Most High. Because he already knew that they were, plotting to kill him.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yet they sent unto me 4 times after this sort.
So they kept going.
And I answered them after the same manner. Verse 5. Then sent Sanballat his servant unto me in like manner the 5th time, with an open letter in his hand. Verse 6. Wherein was written, It is reported among the heathen, and Gazmu said it, that thou and the Jews think to rebel, for which cause thou buildest the wall.
Listen, what does that sound like today? You get the context of that, Quan? Don't that sound like the FBI? They calling the UPK talk about, yeah, we see y'all on the internet, what y'all gonna blow up? like Nehemiah, like what? We ain't plotting to kill nobody. We doing the Lord's work. That's all the UPK is doing is the Lord's work. We ain't looking to harm nobody. We ain't looking to kill nobody. We ain't looking to, start no riot. Only thing we looking to do is the word, the Lord's work, like Nehemiah was saying. We only here to do the Lord's work. Now, does that mean we won't whoop your ass? That's not what that means. So we got to defend ourselves. Best believe we will. But we don't do crimes in the UPK. We don't do any crimes. We don't commit crimes. We don't, we wear our seatbelts. We try to be model citizens is what we try to be. We too busy in this empire to be worried about Esau. We got the Lord's work to do. Esau, you go and do whatever you want to do. Just leave us alone. Leave blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans alone. Particularly leave the UPK alone because we're not into doing crimes or starting no riots. We're not going to storm the Capitol. We're not going to have a plot to cause anybody harm. That's not what we do. Only thing we do is pray and teach these classes and go out on the street corner and call the oppressor the devil.
That's right.
All right, let's drop down. Let me see. Because I know we're going to be coming up on the time soon.
Okay. So also we got the council at 9.
Okay, we'll drop down to verse 10.
Okay. Afterward, I came unto the house of Shemaiah, the son of Eliah, the son of Mahalabi, who was shut up. And he said, Let us meet together in the house of God.
Now, the interesting thing, as I read Nehemiah and study these, you find almost every aspect of Christianity in here. Keep going.
Within the temple, and let us shut the doors of the temple.
Ain't that what your Christian pastor would say? Come on in here, black people. I know you being harassed by the heathens and they killing you down on the street. Let's just go into the temple and pray. How about we do that? We're going to shut the doors of the temple and go in and pray. Go ahead.
But they will come to slay thee,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then that whole spirit of fear saying, you can't go out there and say those things that you say on the street. They look to slay you. That's the whole spirit of Christianity. That's why you don't have Christians in the UPK. A brother that come into the UPK, he sheds himself of Christianity. He sheds himself of that fear. He knows if he goes out on that street corner, that could be his last time. You know you may die. And brothers is okay with that. Why? Because they do it over and over and over. So much so that you hear some brothers, they're like, man, I can't wait for camp. Brothers can't wait for camp to go up there and blaze, knowing that they can die. That's what kind of brothers that we got in here. Brothers that know the danger of this job, know to come against this oppressor. But here's the important thing. These brothers serve the Lord. And so the Most High walks with them. The Most High is with this school, man. And this Christian, he told Nehemiah, he was like, man, come on, let's just go on the temple and pray, because they seek to kill you. They seek to destroy you. Go ahead.
In the night, will they come to slay thee?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 11.
Now listen to Nehemiah's response. Go ahead.
That's like I could.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only thing I'm thinking of is the Dylan Storm route. Dylan Storm route, when he shot up shot the 9 people in that Christian church.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I keep just thinking about that. But verse 11. And I said, should such a man as I flee?
Read it again.
And I said, should such a man as I flee?
Man, that's bold right there. He's like, these cats come to get me. What I'm supposed to do? Run? I'm supposed to run, knowing that I serve the Lord and keep His commandments. Keep going.
And who is there that, being as I am, would go into the temple to save his life? I will not go in.
That brother said, man, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going into no temple. I'm already serving the Lord. You know what I'm saying? If I die, that's the Lord's will. This brother knew that he was walking with the Lord. He knew he was walking with the Most High. And he saw the whole spirit on this cat. Keep going.
Oh, God. Verse 12. And lo, I perceive that God has not sent him.
That's what we know about you Christian pastors. God didn't send you. You speaking the word, talking about, we in danger, and the Israelites is this, the Israelites is bad, and don't listen to them, they're crazy coat. We know the Most High didn't send you. Just like Nehemiah knew with this cat. We perceive that the Most High is not with you. It's only a matter of time. It's a matter of time before this Christian church falls. And everybody's going to see who the Most High is with. Is he with those highfalutin Negroes in Cadillacs and alligator shoes? Or is he with them niggas on the corner that be blazing, trying to bring down this empire? We'll see who he with. Go ahead, Paul.
And the only reason we know otherwise is because we know this Bible. Because if we didn't know this Bible, man, like, we know better than not to vote. You know what I'm saying? They said no voting booths in the Christian church.
Mm-hmm.
When it said to vote in Leviticus, let's say 19, Deuteronomy 19:17 or 17:15, where you vote on like somebody among your people, your brethren. You know what I'm saying? Like when they said the truth will set you free.
Listen, these Christian pastors, we know that the Lord is not with them. And again, it's only a matter of time. All you people that look down on UPK and try to rebuke us and talk bad about us and call us a cult, it's only a matter of time. I'm willing to wait. Me and my brothers, we willing to wait to see who the Lord is with. That's the beautiful thing about it. We are, we talk down, right? They talk down to us now. But just wait, give it some time. We will see. And every brother that ever made the decision to come to UPK is going to be so happy and thank God and worship God and bless God for God allowing them to find His truth, man. And you Christians, you're going to feel dumb and stupid and simple. When your world around you crumbles, you're going to wish that you had listened to us sooner. We pray that the Lord have mercy on you. We pray that when that time comes, you get the opportunity again to make a decision. That's why the scriptures say, make thine election sure. You got to be sure what you into. And Christians, they don't know what they're into in that Christian church. They worship every manner of God, every manner of pagan God under the sun. Baal, like I said, Janus, Kronos, what's his name? Nimrod. I mean, you name it. They Samhain. They got celebrate Samhain and all these other holidays. All these things that you don't even know that are customs in America and tied to pagan traditions. You don't even know it, but you celebrate it anyway. Let's go ahead and get that last little part.
Come on. But that he pronounced this prophecy against me.
Mm-hmm.
For Tobiah and Sanballat have hired him.
And that's your Christian pastor is hired, man. Your Christian pastor is hired by these heathens. You think a Christian ain't never read Revelations 1 and 13? You don't think your Christian pastor ever read that? He looks at the Bible all the time. Not that he's bringing a whole bunch of scriptures out, but he's read it. He went to theologian school, many of them. They've read that scripture before. They've read other scriptures in Daniel that say that, the Most High has woolly hair. They've read scriptures about the angels, how the angels' feet were bronze. They read scriptures about Job, how he said he's black. King Solomon said that he was black. Moses stuck a hand in his garment and brought it out, and it was white as snow. And then he took it back in his garment, and it was as his skin was before. Like, they read that kind of stuff, but do they ever focus in on it and teach you about it? No. They don't want you. They don't give a damn about that because they're hired. You read that part again?
God. But that he pronounced this prophecy against me.
They always prophesying against us. Go ahead.
For Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him.
Man, your Christian pastor, they hired by these heathens to keep you asleep, to keep you docile. You was gonna say something, Paul?
Oh, somebody, I didn't know that was a color scripture right there. I didn't even think about it.
Which one?
The Moses. I didn't even think about it.
That's a color scripture, right?
Dang, man.
That's a color scripture. Not to get off topic, but for everybody watching, that's an important color scripture, so I'm going to get that. It's Exodus 5. We need to find that. Find that real quick. That's an important color scripture, so I don't want you to go without it. We'll cover it real quick, because we're not going to get to cover all the rest of Nehemiah anyway. Man, but if you haven't read Nehemiah, you get in Nehemiah, man. Read that whole, I think it's 13 chapters. Read the whole chapter, man. This brother was hardcore, and just you got to pick out the little things like what we just read, how his own people turned against him, and then you see the whole spirit of the Christian church where they was charging brothers usury while in captivity, taking their vineyards, their houses, their land, even putting their children into servitude to pay off debts. Like, you taking advantage of your brothers in this captivity, and that's wrong. You can't charge your brother usury. Here's a law class. Y'all didn't know y'all was gonna learn all these laws today, did you?
Right.
Can you find it? You need help?
Exodus 4 and 6.
Go ahead.
And Exodus chapter 4, verse 6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom.
So this is Moses. Moses is on the mountain, right? And the Most High is showing him miracles, right? Giving him, basically letting him know who he is. Like, this is the Most High. He's showing his power unto Moses, and Moses is getting ready to go, to go deliver the children of Israel out of Egypt. And one of the miracles that he showed Moses, read it again from the top.
And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom.
So put your hand into your bosom, meaning here, this is your bosom. So put it inside your garment. Go ahead.
And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprosy as snow.
It was leprous.
Leprous as snow.
Meaning he stuck his hand in there, and when he put it out, it was white as snow. That's what leprous is. Leprous means like it's a disease of the skin where you lose the pigmentation in your skin. Moses stuck his hand in there, and when he put it out, it was white as snow. That's a miracle. Like, if you can do that, you've just done a miracle. Keep going.
Go.
Verse 7.
Go, slide. I looked it up on the internet. Let me go. Go. Exodus chapter 4, verse 7. And he said, put thy hand. Oh, it's like. And he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
So was his other flesh white? No, because he said he put his hand again and it went from lepers of snow to his other flesh. That is this color is in the Bible. We was downtown this past weekend and you got some cat come on. He on a megaphone. Now these cats never come to the hood. They never come to the hood and prophesy to black people. But when we get down there, they want to stop us from saying what we're saying. It's like, Ray, your race doesn't matter. Your color doesn't matter. This is what, if it's in the Bible, guess what? It matters. It matters that it's in the Bible. Furthermore, if it didn't matter, what I did, and this is what I said to him. I think he was a devil. Actually, I think he was Israel. He's another brainwashed Israelite. I said, if color doesn't matter, then why is he painting the image of everything Christ and angels and God portrayed as white?
Right.
It's because color does matter.
Right.
Color matters. That's why it's in the Bible. That's why this story, if this story, he didn't have to leave that miracle in there. He had already turned staff into snakes. The bush was burning. That's enough right there. If I go and I see a bush burning with a voice coming out of the heavens, I'm like, okay, I'm sold. What you need me to do, Lord? Like, he didn't have to do that miracle. He didn't have to make his flesh turn a different color. But it's in the Bible so we can know.
That's right.
King Solomon's color is in the Bible so we can know. Job's color is in the Bible so we can know. The color of the angels in the Bible. God having woolly hair, all this stuff is in the Bible so we can know. That's why it matters. Go ahead, Quan.
That's heavy what you bring out, one, because look at what they do. If we didn't have this Bible, oh my God.
If we didn't have this Bible, we'd be destroyed. We just think that we were, we were destined to be, destroyed. I wouldn't have any only thing that I would try to do is just provide the best life that I could. I wouldn't have no other higher aspirations. You know what I mean? I wouldn't, it'd just be like, that's it. This is it. This America, this is life right here. This is how black people is. There's nothing greater for us here. So just do the best you can. But now I know, listen, even if I'm not successful in America, I can be successful in the Lord.
That's right.
I can serve the Lord, man. And guess what? If I do my best work here serving the Lord, then me and my brothers, we're going to get out of this captivity. There'll be a time where we're teaching and the temple is going to be like a damn palace. Right. And we're going to have slaves. We're going to have slaves out. You think America has slaves? We're going to have slaves. We're going to build the greatest empire on the face of the earth under Yahushua. And it's going to be magnificent and glorious. And his empire is never going to crumble. You see how America was established in 1776? This empire is on its way down. It ain't made it thousands of years like some of these old other empires. This empire is crumbling before your very eyes. America is going down and down. And the Most High's empire is going to be built with Christ at the helm. Right, and niggas, spicks, and savages is going to be, the people in charge.
That's right.
That's the beautiful thing about it. The people who the Lord rejected. What do we read in Zephaniah 2:1? The nation that's not desired. Them gonna be the people that's in charge. The low.
That's right.
You understand? So, any questions online?
Live one.
All right, we're gonna clip it a few minutes earlier. I know the brothers got counsel that they need to get to. So with that, I'm gonna pass the class to preaching officer Park.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK starting out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule: when when a new brother or sister comes into school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves to the world.
And let me just say something on that. For new brothers and sisters that come into the school, it's critically important for you to understand what this announcement says. We say this in the announcements all the time, right? We read these announcements daily after each class so you can understand what you can and what you cannot do. Read that part again.
Okay. When a new brother or sister comes into the school,
when there's a new brother or sister that comes into the school, meaning they haven't met their 6-month period, go ahead.
They are off limits for 6 months.
They're off limits, man. What you know what off limits mean? Meaning you cannot talk to them. You cannot, get buddy with them. You can't be in their DM. You can't do anything other than what? Keep going.
They are to be saluted only.
That's all you can do is salute them. Hey, shalom, sis, how you doing? I'm good. I'm Tawab. Keep it pushing. That's it. Go ahead.
Okay. They are here to be shed. It's like they are here to shed themselves to the world.
Like these people need time to get straight. And that's the whole point, man, for people to really change their lives coming here. And then later, after they change their lives, they can think about being a good husband or a good wife. That was all right. Good.
They are here to shed themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. Numbers 18-21. Malachi 3:8-10 means 10th in Hebrew. Ma'asher, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest funds. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. The feast of first fruit. And it's like, that lasts 50 days.
50 days.
50 days. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pant, headband, scarf. And with that, a madhu, which means arise. With Pomo Hakwadam means turn and face to east. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawi. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Ayah. Tukub. Yahweh. Malakika. Tabaat. Atazayaka. Ayah. Aisha. Barakazak. Kawuk. Ayah. Ashemayim. The third. The now. The come. Call. The one. Asalaku now. Walking out. Asalaku now. Walking out. Wala. Abiyah now. What's our one? Above. Outside now. Ayan. Right. Kaya. The cup. Amalaku. Walalu. Other part. Nawalayan. Aman.
Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Give us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. The power in Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Babushah. Tamanau. Hakat. Larabah. Kal Marwa. Hakat. Adar. Amatazarayu. Hakat. Lahakwakim. Hamakim. Hakat. Awakawa. Hatama'alu. The Garsham. Ba'ashim. Yahusha. Walaman. Prayer for the Hakat, the power In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shah?
Why Yahweh Shah?
Why Naka'ala?
Why Yahweh?
Why Lahaya?
Why Lahaya?
Atazara.
Nazarah.
Alawat Yahweh.
Alawat Yahweh.
Alawatyu.
Alawat.
Hasharayim.
Hasarayim.
Hakatayayim.
Hakwatayim.
Hakayayim.
Hakayayim.
Ukwati.
Wahakwati.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim.
Bashim.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh.
Wadaman.
Wadaman. What we just said in English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angel.
And the angel.
Commanding General Yohanan.
Commanding General Yohanan.
The general.
The general.
The captain.
The captain.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Anointing prayers in the Hebrew. Yahweh Yahweh.
Yahweh Yahweh.
Why Shamarka.
Why Shamarka.
Yahweh Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Pinyahu.
Yahweh.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Wayakanku.
Why come?
Yeshua Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Pinyahu.
Yahweh.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Wayashua.
Washum.
Kat.
Kat.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yahushua.
Bashim Yahushua.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapat.
Rapat.
Agun.
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 Agun. All the destroyed of Israel.
All the sword of Israel.
Done.
All the sword of Israel.
All the destroyed of Israel.
Done.
Done.
You got anybody you want to pray for? Young man, Rob?
Uh,
Just say their name and we're going to repeat it.
For mother and father.
Mother and father.
For my mama, Lisa, and my dad.
Lisa and
And
your dad.
Robert.
And Robert.
and Robert. Lisa, Dad, and Robert.
And just say done when you're done.
And done.
By Hashem.
By Hashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Wadaman. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Oh, slap.
What we just said in the English. Yahweh bless thee and keep thee.
Yahweh bless thee and keep thee.
Yahweh make his face shine upon thee.
Yahweh make his face shine upon thee.
And be gracious unto thee.
And be gracious unto thee.
Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee.
Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee.
And give thee peace.
And give thee peace.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
ISUPK curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
And evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
Thy teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
And evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure.
And shake loose the treasure.
Of the rich of Israel.
Of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
And evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
Edomites.
And the nation.
And their nations.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Christianity.
Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinhead. Posse Comitatus. The gay movement. The lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
That's space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marine.
Marine.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the airways.
The cable access channel.
Cable access channel.
And the radio channel.
And the radio channel.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit.
Of any of thy people.
Of any of thy people.
That seek to stop us.
That seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction.
And bring swift destruction.
To all the heathen.
To all the heathen.
That stand in the way.
That stand in the way.
Or try to stop us from broadcasting your words.
Or try to stop us from broadcasting your words.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Through the earth and consume them.
Through the earth and consume them.
Let the plague shake.
Let the plague shake.
The house of the thief and the murderer.
The house of the thief and the murderer.
Let Yahweh shine.
Let Yahweh shine.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel.
Come down with the flying saucers.
Come down with the flying saucers.
And punish all the heathen.
And punish all the heathen.
That come up against us.
That come up against us.
As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all.
Cause it to be known by all.
That is the angels that have done it.
That is the angels that have done it.
Cause it be spread through the media.
Cause it be spread to the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause it to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it. Start. Which means to turn. Courage salute to the teachers. Men of Israel, Mount Shabbat, Amatu, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat,
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
That's what time. Courage salute to the sisters watching online. Men of Israel, Mount Shabbat, Amatu, Barak, Yahweh Shemar, Adathan, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shemar,
Yahweh Shemar,
Adathan, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. And what you said was, Lord in Christ, watch over these sisters. Yes, Matai? Class dismissed.
Real quick.